Hi guys, today I am filming day, I think it will be like intro, day 1, which are kind of the same thing, and day 2 of this zero waste challenge. Now, I actually want to do this to continue doing it after I finish the 30 days, so I don't just want to kind of create 30 videos about it and then be like, well, I love plastic again. So what I love about this book, which is called A Zero Waste Life in 30 Days by Anita Van Dyke, it's so practical. She goes through like really practical ways to do it, and she actually gives you like 3 different levels: reduced waste, low waste, and zero waste. So if you're maybe to the point where, like with shopping, you know, you could only really do reduced waste because maybe you don't just shop for you and you've got to start to find alternatives for other people in your house. Or, I mean, for me, I just shop for me, so I'm kind of challenging myself with the food to just go zero waste, because I know that it's just me being fussy if I don't. But then also, like, there are different parts of the books where I go, oh wow, that is like a big step, and if I want to continue that for a long time after, maybe I should just start with like low waste or reduced waste to like ease myself into it, so that I actually have the chance of continuing it, which is what I really love about it. So I want to go through this book with you guys for 30 days, just probably to show you how easy it is. I've actually almost read all of it. I read it in the car on the way home one day. It's beautiful as well, by the way. Like, it's just, I'll show you up close, but it's colourful, and it's like a pastel orange and navy is like the whole theme of the book, and it's just so cool. I love it. But also, it's so practical. So I am going to, in my bullet journal, I have a zero waste area, and I think I'm just going to go with, I don't know, I'll make notes on each day, or maybe write things that I want to remember, so I don't have to keep referring to the book, because this is definitely Anita's version of what works for her, and she's always saying, figure out what works for you. So I think I'll just keep notes to go, oh, this is what works for me, especially just like where you live, what is available to you, all that kind of stuff. So that's what we're going to do, and let's go through it. Let's start. So what I've done in my bullet journal is I have a section at the back, which I've already just put day 1 in, that I'm going to make I'm just going to call it Zero Waste Challenge, I think, because then I will be inclined to keep going and I won't stop after 30 days. So this is what the book looks like. It's beautiful, it's so little, I really love it. And it says here, reduce your waste by 80%. So I suppose if you go with like what she's talking about, that's what you could achieve. Then it starts, this is sort of like what's going to happen. And then this introduction here is really interesting, and it's just about the way that she came to live a zero waste life, I suppose, like what led her to do it and what still keeps her doing it. And it's really interesting because she talks about how she didn't actually start this purely for environmental reasons. Like, she goes, I'll be honest, that wasn't my intention, but now she's seen the benefit of it, which I think is really cool. So day 1, we have start where you are. And that's just about figuring out, why do you actually want to do this? Is it to save money? Is it to reduce your environmental impact? Is it to show others that it's really easy to do this? There are a lot of different reasons, but she just gets you to write briefly, why do you want to do this? Purely just because you could do it for any reason, and any reason is okay. So the question was, in that day 1, take 5 minutes to write out. And the question was, why are you trying out a zero waste life? And this is actually such a complex question. I think there are so many elements to it. So I think I'm just going to go dot points because that's probably going to be a lot easier for me, and I will not end up writing a whole essay about it then. And environmental facts, I love this. Oh, let me read these out. Shoppers worldwide use 500 billion single-use plastic bags per year. That's about 1 million bags per minute across the globe. Every piece of plastic created in the 1950s still exists. At least 2/3 of the world's fish population is suffering from plastic ingestion. Think this doesn't affect us. We eat fish and we drink the water that we're dumping our plastic into. Plastics are made of petrochemicals. These chemicals leach into our waterways and enter our food chain. So they are 4 of like millions of reasons as to why plastic is not the greatest thing in the world for us. And I mean, I find this really interesting because now grocery shopping, we have to stop using single-use bags, but it's actually made me go, when I go shopping, I just take my bags I take to the grocery store. Like if I'm buying, I don't know, if I'm buying anything, I'll be like, it's okay, I have my own bag, because it is still the same thing. But actually, often fashion bags, like fashion stores bags, are that thicker plastic, which is just a whole lot worse. So really the whole basis of like, how can you live a zero waste life? Anita talks about like creativity within creativity within confines. So actually, we think that we're being restricted and that, you know, it's like, well, I'm just going to eat fresh kale for the rest of my life. But it's about finding the creativity within that and then realizing you can probably still eat everything you could have before. It might just take more effort, or you might have to make it yourself, or, you know, whatever it is, but you learn to live within that and you learn to be really creative in that because people aren't doing that for you, which I think is really cool. And I've definitely already noticed, like, just the way that I think about things a bit differently. I plan things a bit more, and it doesn't take that much time, but you've got to be intentional about it. So day 2 is a bin audit, but I think I'm going to leave this until like maybe day 3 or day 4, because I don't live by myself. So doing a bin audit would be like really hard to remember what is mine and what is not. So I think what I'm going to do instead is actually just have a look in the pantry and see what are like the really common things that I would be buying a lot that are either wrapped in plastic or maybe sold in plastic. So pantry, this section here is mostly mine. I mean, oh, actually, they're my jars up there. And this is rice with some, I had some brown rice left in the packet when I got this, so I just mixed it all together. I've got some pasta back there. This is Israeli couscous that I bought from Nana's pantry. The rest of these are from Nana's, and you can buy them in bulk and like buy them in paper bags, which is great. This is some scone mix, and actually, of course, I have this on the bench. You can buy mini M&Ms in bulk there, which is what makes it like my favourite place on earth. And then, I mean, when I look at all of this, a lot of it I just have because I bought it and then didn't eat it. But I think the main thing that I'm noticing for me is probably pasta. Cans that have like all this plastic wrapped in it. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Probably like condiments. That this is local honey, so I'm kind of okay with... I'm not okay with the fact it's in plastic, but I would rather be using this than buying regular honey. I think maybe the main thing out of all of this is going to be things like pasta, rice. I mean, I know I can buy rice at Nana's Pantry, which is great. I might be able to get... Actually, I think I can get different types of pasta. I don't think I can get spaghetti though. So I'm going to like clear all this out, figure out what I've got, and then kind of start to be able to go, okay, these are the things that I'm going to consciously avoid so that this looks a little bit more less plastic. Pantry audit, and the main thing I came up with was pasta, yogurt, and there was another one. It'll come to me, but I'm thinking I might just make that little note under day 2 and kind of keep room for a list where I can keep adding to it and going, oh, that's right, forgot about this, or oh, I realized this week that I was doing this. So I might go and actually create a whole new page for day 2, and I'll call it my pantry audit because I didn't do a bin audit, and then I can keep adding to this list as I go on and as I realize different things, I suppose, that I use.